So for this section, we're going to solve rational equations, and so what we're going to want to do is clear the fractions. So this one is actually proportion, so if you want to cross multiply and solve, you can, but since we're going to need to clear all the fractions for the rest of them, I'm just going to do it that way. So you want your least common denominator, so this in this case would be 3 times x, and we're going to multiply the whole entire thing by 3x. So if I multiply this side by 3x, the x's cancel. I'm just left with 32 times 3, which is 96. And if I multiply this side by 3x, the 3's canceled, and I'm left with 16x. Same as if you cross multiply, you'd have 16x and 96, so it's the same idea. Divide both sides by 16. 96 divided by 16 is 6, and I'm going to write it with the x on the left. So x is 6. For the next one here, we have b plus 1 over 2 plus 6 is equal to b minus 4 over 3. So since you don't have a variable in the denominator, you could, simplify this and make this one fraction on the left, and then cross multiply if you wanted, if you like proportions better. But I'm just going to clear the fractions. So between 2 and 3, my common denominator, my least common denominator would be 6. So I'm going to multiply everything by 6. If I multiply this piece, and you're going to do it in pieces, so wherever there's a plus sign or a minus sign break, take that piece as well. If I multiply this by 6, 2 goes into 6 3 times, I'm left with 3 times b plus 1. We've got plus 6 times 6 is 36, is equal to, if I do this piece times 6, 3 goes into 6 2 times, so I've got 2 times b minus 4. And then I'm left with a linear equation to solve, so all I have to do is distribute and solve. So I've got 3b plus 39. So if I subtract 2b, 3b minus 2b is b, subtract 39, negative 8 minus 39 is negative 47. And you can check all of these as well. On the handwritten notes I did check some, and these do work. And again, like this one, if you had come up with x equals 0, it wouldn't work because you can't divide by 0, but so for this one, you could write this as one fraction if you want to, but we're going to just clear the fractions. Least common denominator is y plus 2 times y plus 3. So if I do this times y plus 2, I'm left with 2 times y plus 3 because the y plus 2's cancel. This times y plus 2 times y plus 3, the y plus 2's cancel again. I'm left with 8 times y plus 3 is equal to this one times this. I get 9 times y plus 2 because the y plus 3's cancel. So distribute and solve. And like I said, on this one, you could have added these together first since they have a common denominator. Might have made it a little simpler, but it doesn't matter. So we got 10y plus 30. And you can probably hear in the background while I'm late on making these videos because we had our newest edition last week. So we get y equals negative 12. And it will work. If you plug it in, it will work. And again, here for this one, as long as y is not negative 2 or negative 3, it should work. And it's negative 12, and so it will work. Let me do this last one here so I can go feed the baby. So for this one, the right hand side is not factored for you. So you have to factor it first because you don't want to multiply out by this big big thing here. You'd want to make it factored to see if it's simpler. It factors into x plus 2 times x plus 1. So to clear the fractions, we're going to do x plus 2 times x plus 1. So this times this, the x plus 2's cancel. I'm left with 4x times x plus 1. This times this, the x plus 1's canceled. I'm left with minus x times x plus 2. On this side, everything cancels, so I'm just left with the numerator. So 4x times x is 4x squared plus 4x. If I solve this, oops, minus, let me do plus and negative, sorry. So if I solve this, we have 4x squared minus x squared is 3x squared. 4x should be plus negative 2x, or minus 2x is plus 2x. He really doesn't want me to do this video. It's the second time I've done it. So 3x squared, if I subtract that over, that cancels. So 2x minus 4x is negative 2x. And equals 4. And if I divide by negative 2, 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. So if you try to plug this back in though, negative 2 minus 2 gives me 0 in the denominator. Sometimes people write at the start, x cannot equal negative 2 or negative 1 if you wanted. So in this case, this actually won't work because we cannot divide by 0, so we would just say no solution. You can always check these and make sure you never have a 0 in the denominator. And make sure, don't plug it in here where we cleared the fractions, because there's not going to be a denominator. Make sure you go back to either your factored form or your original. It doesn't matter. The factored form's fine, but you have to plug it back in here, back to the original, so that you have the fraction, so that you know if you are dividing by 0.